All right, Yassi, I'll take your seat in the center.
Did you like it?
I loved it. And
Did you guys like it? Yes. Ano favorite part niyo? Alin? You trying the app? O yung nakahulog sa sky? Makita-shoot yung guys. Anything for coins though.
Grab a seat there, and also we'll get Kat to join us at the gym. We'll have a little fireside chat. Very exciting stuff. I love the fact that, this is bringing it to the mainstream. I think it's about time that crypto's entered the journey after 15 years. It's really hitting mainstream stuff. And this is where we get that mass adoption that we're all looking for, right? Because a lot of people, in the beginning, before you got here, was talking about the intimidation of crypto. How do you think this Coins.PH is going to help with that, remove some of that intimidation?
I think before, because when I started investing into crypto was around 2017 or 2018. Now, I'll tell you guys more about that a bit later. But the difference now is that before with other places that I can't really say, it's very hard to log in, right? We all have our codes or passwords that are quite long and quite difficult to remember or to store. And here, I think Coins.PH was able to make the UI so simple. It's very, very easy for us to use kahit saan at hindi siya nagiging intimidating because of that.
Aside from the intimidation, it becomes directly spendable. I love that feature.
That's true, that's
Straight
true.
from if I see Bitcoin is up and I think, wow, I can just shave off a little bit off the top, I can spend that straight away. It's like in the app.
Exactly, and not only for that, Coins just makes it so easy for us to even pay for so many bills. There's over 120 partners already, diba? Kapag kailangan mong bayad ng kuryente, you can pay with Coins. And all those other livelihood normal necessity bills for us to pay, diba?
Exactly, we all keep in one ecosystem. So I'm going to go over to Jen now, over the end. Jen, what would you say are some of the most tangible ways that crypto and Web3 have impacted the lives of Filipinos for the better?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of use cases beyond the speculative nature of it, right? So, understandably, the first thing that people talk about Bitcoin is how much you earn from your capital, right? So, gains on your assets. But I think here in the Philippines in particular, what's interesting is one of the best use cases for crypto is using cross-border payments. And that is one of the things that we're attacking with our stablecoin. So basically, making it easy for people from our loved ones abroad to send money back to the Philippines in a cost-efficient, in a fast manner, quick settlement time. So that, I think, is revolutionary in a sense. And we have seen that to some respects using different tokens, right? So Yassi was saying that some portion of remittance are being facilitated by crypto. And we think that with stable coins and with the use cases we've been talking about, the payments, etc., that will further grow, the ecosystem. And that is very tangible to your loved ones abroad, right? If you can save 30% or 20%, that's money directly to the pockets of your family, right? And I think that is close to home, not just each and every one of us probably knows someone na may OFW in the family. And third, I think we've become the country in which people look up to us because we just are very knowledgeable about crypto. That is brought about by gaming. So last cycle, we saw different communities rallying together and bridging the gap between financial literacy. And that has sprouted a lot of financial education about how to interact with wallets, like digital financial inclusion and digitalization of the country. So that brought in a wave of uplifting the life of our users and Filipinos.
Very well said, Jen. I love that's great. A round of applause for that. And so, I'm not sure if you really appreciate how much you shared there, how much data you just gave us. It's a lot, and it's very important because, as you said, we are a remittance-based economy by a very large amount, and so to remove that friction, that alone, I think is amazing. And one last thing I just want to add, what you said, the financial literacy that you gain throughout your journey is completely different than when you're in the traditional banking sector, because that you just hand off to somebody else. Here you're responsible for that journey. You learn, you understand where is money coming from, how does it do this, how does it do that. And I think we can all learn more about money. I'll ask Kat your response to the same question. It's what are some of the most tangible ways crypto and Web3 have impacted the lives of Filipinos for the better?
Yeah, I think
aside from remittances and the use cases there, we don't realize it, right? But it's hard to invest in the Philippines if you're, just a normal person. To get a trading account, for example, for the stock exchange, that takes a while, and you have to go through institutions. It's hard to invest in, international stocks as well. Crypto gives everyone accessibility to invest in assets, right? From your phone. It's very small, in very small denominations, right? So instead of having to go through a very arduous process, all you need to do is really just open an account with coins, and for that, all you need to do is show your ID, right? You can do it all through the phone, and you can cash in very, very easily, and with, maybe 50 pesos, you can already start investing, right? So with that, like, anyone really, any Filipino can actually participate, right, in investments and have accessibility to wealth creation as well. So I think that's one of the most tangible things also that crypto allows.
And I believe that 100% too, because that's one of the first things I really appreciate about Coins.PH is how easy it was to cash in and out of. So it's what I tell my kids now, because before I would try in the beginning to get them into crypto, get them to invest in, but using the international exchange before I found out about coins. And yes, it was very difficult for them to go in and buy the USDT and then go in to figure out how to buy the BTC. Then, no, here it's just that little QR code that on the corner, and then that's it, like depositing to somebody's account, and it's tokenized. It could be 100 pesos, like you said. All right, Yassi, your thoughts on how the crypto community or crypto and Web3 has adapted to the Philippines for better?
I think, of course, I must acknowledge Ms. Jen. Thank you for sharing so much knowledge as well to everybody about how the Philippines is growing in the crypto world. And also Ms. Kat, tama na naman from remittance to also investing, because sometimes even investing is very, very intimidating. Kahit ako man po, I didn't know how to invest kasi small story lang, when I was younger in high school na lang, I like to kind of invest and do businesses. I bought mga clothes ko sa Bangkok before, and then I sold them in my high school. As a kid, so sabi ko, I kind of like that business. I like to try to learn to make more money. And sometimes, that was very difficult to do. There was a way for us to invest in your chair now, even 5 pesos, 100, whatever budget you have, 500, and then use that, and then you can just kind of bank it there, right? Because there are some traders in the Philippines. I don't have that much time for that, but some are truly, truly great at it and getting them magbasa ng everything that's happening. Me, what I did like before when I came in was I just put my money there in 2017, 2018, and I kind of just seen it grow. I saw it drop during the bear market, which was kind of sad. Actually, very, very sad. Pero, kapit lang, stay strong lang tayo. So now, we're back on our feet, diba? So, I'm glad that I did not pull out everything. And now, I kind of see that, maybe if I put it somewhere else, it wouldn't have grown so much, right? And I think another big thing that really impacted the Philippines was when gaming was so popular, right? You guys remember Axie Infinity?
Yeah.
So I wanted to use Axie Infinity kasi nung pandemic yan to really help the Filipinos kasi marami kaming mga scholars that we got, were jeepney drivers, tricycle drivers, nawalan po sila ng trabaho, and dahil doon, mahirap walang trabaho. So Axie Infinity was one of the ways for us to kind of provide them with a job, and yun yung mga naging parang ways ko to give back to the people who have supported me before and to provide little. Kahit na sila naman ako. So, I'm very, very grateful for that time. And over my almost 1,000 scholars, hi guys. I hope you guys are doing okay.
A little bit trivia. What was your first coin that you bought?
Ethereum.
Wow.
And yeah, it was $300 at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then, did you shortly buy it after? Did you go into Bitcoin as well?
I didn't go into Bitcoin because I was scared. So, dito lang muna ako sa second para ma-sure in case may drop. Let's just stay safe here in Ethereum. Pero I do regret not going into Bitcoin. Kahit konti man lang before.
Well, you know what they say about the best time to plant the tree, right? So, 10 years ago today. Now, Jen, I'll go back to you and I'll ask all three of you the same question. Beauty pageant, no? Why are each of you, headphones,
Wala na po yung headphones.
and no world peace, answers out please. Why are each of you excited for this partnership and campaign, and what are you hoping to impart to the nation through this campaign and educational initiatives regarding crypto and blockchain and start with Jen?
Yeah, I think having Yassi as an ambassador is someone that understands the industry. Like, based on what she shared, so she bought in Ethereum way back 2017. So we wanted someone who understands the industry, who went through the same learning curve as we all did, and someone who believes in it, right? So it's not just about someone just having a face for coins, but we want someone who can also be our sounding board and understands the ins and outs. Why are people trading? Why are people buying tokens? And what are the pain points of the Filipino users? And for us, we found it all encapsulated in Yassi. And I think Kat will share more about more details about it. But in general, in our viewpoint, having someone who understands the industry, who knows our users, and who believes in our industry first, and most importantly, believes in our industry.
I think if you've followed for 7 years, you've earned the right. You're going to build that muscle up. Kat?
Yeah, I think we were really excited to partner with Yassi because, she appeals to so many Filipinos just because I think she brings joy to any room that she's in, and to a lot of people across the country, right? And that really shines through. And what we want to share is the accessibility, right, of crypto and of Coins.PH as well as a platform for any Filipino to invest in. So I think, that was really one of the biggest reasons why Yassi was perfect for us. The other, of course, as Jen mentioned, she does understand crypto. And I think we can see that as well when we did the ad campaign. It was very collaborative. She understood what we were trying to do. And it was, I think we brought a lot of personality into it that was unique to Coins, but also really truly embodies Yassi and her personality. And I think that mix just, made a very unique campaign. And also, we wanted to bring humor and lightness. Because crypto is so intimidating, right? Like we've been saying for a lot of people. But actually, once you try it, and you learn through experience, it gets easier. And you can kind of understand what to do next, right? So it's just that first step to actually go ahead and try it. And what we want to say is, hey, crypto is actually something that everyone can do, right? No matter your background, your socioeconomic class, this is actually something that everyone can access, and it can improve the lives of people. And I think, Yassi was definitely the perfect partner to help us with this message.
Right, Yassi, what do you have to say about that?
I'm shy. Thank you so much. I'm very honored. Thank you, guys. I think I'm very, very grateful to be part of Coins, obviously, because of the family of the group that they've already shown to everyone with how long they've been here. It's safe, it's secure, it's regulated, which is one of the biggest concerns of the Filipinos before. Bantayan ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So sure tayo dyan that everything is going to be good. And I think it's really the opportunity. But with the opportunity, syempre, you have to also educate yourself. Do it at your own risk as long as you know what you're doing. Be careful and invest in the right things because there really is an opportunity for you to gain, if it's not financial freedom, but like growth. Diba? And who doesn't really want that, right? So Coins has made it easy for us. So thank you, Coins.
Yes, thank you to Coins as well. I think you mentioned about BSP regulated. That is a very big factor for a lot of people, myself included, because during my initial stage of buying into crypto, I would get calls from my bank, and sometimes it would block my transaction. And it just, there was already that sort of image surrounding crypto, an undeserved one, but there was this image about it's used by shady people. And this is all the fun that a lot of us in the industry already know about, but it doesn't help if your own bank says, don't buy that. And then, so being BSP regulated, it really gives me a lot of confidence, and it should give you too. Last question for you before we turn over to the floor. I'd like to ask you if you can share, starting with Jen, some upcoming news or developments that Coins users can look forward to the second half of this year in the bull market, Jen. What have you got for us in the bull market?
Well, I always have a preamble, not financial advice. But we're very optimistic about the second half of the year, right? There's just a lot of macroeconomic trends in terms of like merging together and making it a better case for holding or diversifying your assets to crypto, right? Digital assets. For coins in general, I think you'll see us, and this is what we've been promising to our users for the past couple of months and years, is basically we'll offer more tokens on our platform. We're already the largest regulated exchange here in the Philippines in terms of token offerings. You'll see us list more tokens because a lot of Filipino people would follow their own projects. They want them to be available in the Philippines. And we have a lot of projects who want to enter the Philippines and they want to have exposure to the Philippine market. So that's the first. Like you'll see us list more tokens. Secondly, in terms of product offerings, so we will expand our product offerings. We have crypto native, since we have our Web3 wallet. You'll see different applications there, which we are already in the process of building. Obviously, this is all with the caveat of following the existing regulatory regime. That's always been our focus. That's always been our principle number one, right? And lastly, you'll see us more present in different communities, right? Understanding more use cases on how we can service our Filipino people. The fourth one is basically making our stablecoin, expanding the use case of our stablecoin. We just launched it last month. The reception, the public reception has been really, really good. We were surprised. We were almost near our KPIs in terms of the first month. And we want to really tackle that remittance use case. So you'll see us present in other exchanges and other on-ramps and off-ramps as well.
Thank you, Jen. Before we go to Kat, I just have a quick follow-up question on, you mentioned about the stablecoin a few times. Could you run through for some people who may or may not be familiar with the use case? Is this how does this in coins right now you have the Philippine peso amount, right? How does the stablecoin help with that?
So stablecoin is a digital representation of a currency. So in this case, it's a Philippine peso. It's a digital representation of the Philippine peso. Meaning whatever we mint, so on the fundamental level, whatever we have, it's back to 1:1. So that's more on the reserves backing what we mint. So why do you have to have the digital representation of peso on the blockchain? It allows you to leverage the technology, which is basically fast settlement and cheap way of sending money everywhere around the world. So that is something that we want to put forward, and that is what our stablecoin is leveraging on. So basically, it's a Philippine back, so every peso that is minted on the contract is backed by 1 peso, so 1:1 backing. And at the same time, you're leveraging the technology of blockchain for an instant settlement with cheap fees.
So in a practical use case, somebody in the United States could send money over here instead of sending it over through the traditional wires, which commissions take a lot of time. And even if they went to crypto before the PHBC, one would have to normally get that from, let's say, BTC to USDT to Philippine peso. So you're skipping a lot of friction there. So somebody could just literally send you the PHBC from the United States, and then you can just cash it out 1:1. Wow.
Wire transfers are so hard.
They saw that last year, no?
So hard.
Kat, what are your thoughts on the new things to look forward to?
Yeah, sure. I think before I go on to what to look forward to, I just want to remind everyone, where Coins has come from, right? Coins has always been a leader for the last 10 years. We were the first exchange to be regulated by the central bank. We're the first to launch a peso-backed stablecoin that's available for retail use, right? And I think you'll see a lot more firsts coming out from Coins. In the past year alone, the rate of the products and services we've been rolling out, whether it be more tokens, our spot trading feature, even revamping our UI, and even coming up with a rewards hub, which is an in-app loyalty program. We've done that in the past year or less, right? And I think it's only going to pick up from here. This is just the start, and you'll see many more firsts. I would like to say what they are, but I can't at this point.
No alpha.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you'll just have to wait because this year there's a lot more products and services coming out. And we're proud to be the first to bring this to the Philippines, to bring a lot of these things to Filipinos. And we're not stopping, and I think this is just the start of that.
Thank you so much, Kat. Yassi, do you have anything to add before we take questions from the floor?
I think it's almost the same. Honestly, I think in this app and this generally telling all of the little details. And I think just the growth that we've seen over the past years already, patunay na talaga that Coins is just gonna keep on growing. So great job, you guys. That's so hard to do. Yes!
Real power now.
I personally just think before we take questions from the audience that it's great that you got that experience over the last 7 years as a crypto investor. So you know what it's like. You're not a fair weather ambassador, in other words. And we were having this discussion before. It's like, if you got somebody like, just never invest in crypto, they'll never understand the journey. Only somebody that's been through the bear market and been through these crashes will understand that there's a higher purpose. There's something greater to look forward to despite the volatility. For everyone else that is frightened of the volatility, just understand it works both ways. You can't make good money if there's no volatility. So as long as you keep it into a respectable time horizon, 4 years is usually a very safe time horizon to say you're going to be up. So with that, we'll take some questions from the floor. If anyone's got any questions there, or if we have our facilitators walking. It's very difficult for us to see you, by the way. Okay, I do see a hand over here. So forgive us, because the lights are very bright. Oh, that's better. Could we have a little more volume on the mic, on the floor, please?
Hi, good afternoon. Ate from the PH. My question goes to Ms. Kat. Congratulations for this wonderful and important event. Do we see with the fast evolution of technology, do we see a cashless economy soon? What's that's my first question. And second is, what security do we have in place for our coins? Thank you.
Cashless.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're already seeing this today. People prefer to transact without cash, right, through digital means. And if you look at how crypto and Web3 native the Philippines actually is, we're actually the epicenter of Web3 adoption, right? We have millions of Filipinos using whether it be Web3 games, cryptocurrency, etc. So I think it's just going to be more digital and cashless from here. I don't think that train is stopping anytime soon, to be honest. And I think, for coins in terms of security, one of the things that we implemented recently is facial scanning for verification of transactions. And I think this is so important, right? Because this allows us and also the user to be assured that whenever there's a transaction, that it's really that user who initiated it, and there's no unauthorized access or anything like that. So that's one of the safety features that we actually did to protect users, right? Whether it be they lost their phone or something, another way that maybe there could be unauthorized access. With this feature, now we're assured that that user is the only one that can transact, and we prevent any such circumstances from happening.
And just to add on to what Kat mentioned in terms of custody, I think one of the things that James and Yassi, James in particular, mentioned is basically we're regulated by the central bank. So the same scrutiny as what we get from your banks, right? It's something that we've gone through. We go through audits. Our central bank, who is a regulator, our license, virtual asset service provider license, make sure that customers are protected. And we've always viewed regulators as a friend because we always know that what we're after is the protection of your consumer assets. Because what we want to be at the end of the day is, since we're the largest player in the Philippines, is to ensure that the exchange in which millions of Filipinos put their money into is something that is verified and with the stamp of approval of the central bank. So those two things work hand in hand. So that is, Kat mentioned, on a user level. What we are also looking at from a regulated standpoint is on the platform level.
Just a quick note, when you're onboarding, is the process any easier than the traditional bank? Does it help those in the unbanked community, basically? Do they have an advantage?
Yeah, I think our KYC process is very quick. We can get verified in like a minute or so. It even auto captures whatever is written on your ID. So you don't even have to put, so that's how seamless the process is. So we have a lot of different, because in the Philippines in particular, you have a lot of IDs, right? So it's not in the US or India, just have one ID. So we accept different kinds of IDs, and we have security measures in which to verify if it's from a true fake account, right? So, so yeah, I think onboarding process, meet KYC level 2, it's a minute or so.
Okay, so it gives more access to more people. It's fair to say. Which we need, by the way. We still have a large unbanked community in the Philippines and around the world. Any more questions from the floor? I see Chris there's itching to ask one. He's just shy. No, I think Chris knows the answer already.
Hi, I'm Naimon from the Philippines. And before anything else, I would like to say that I'm a proud user of Coins.PH since 2014. And congratulations to your launch of Miss Yassi Pressman as your ambassador. My question is, there's a misconception that crypto is associated with scams or it's a scam itself, right? What are the initiatives that you're doing to veer away people from having this misconception?
Is the question for anyone in particular or just anyone that...
Anybody can answer.
Yeah, I think it gets the reason why a lot of people, think crypto is a scam. It's because they're dealing with unregulated platforms or unsafe third parties, right, that are investing their funds for them. So that's why for us, you can just sign up, do it yourself, right? Do your own research, try it out, start small, and work with a regulated platform like Coins, right? I think it gets a bad name because of bad actors, but at the end of the day, these assets, are, on our platform, at least we have due diligence on them. We make sure that what we're offering to the public also undergoes certain policies that we have. So I think it's the bad actors that are giving it a bad name, but it's not the industry in general, right?
Jen, you want to add anything?
Just to add, I think in the early stages of crypto, a lot of people were maybe speculators. It was used for farming purposes. But you see the biggest institutions, the biggest asset managers in Wall Street giving their stamp of approval of having Bitcoin ETFs, now Ethereum ETFs. So crypto as an asset class has grown from the hinges of small gatherings to now the largest asset managers, BlackRock, Bitwise, all those big guys are entering into the space. And that is actually the first asset in which the retail users had the first crack at it instead of institutional. Because the way because I'm an investment banker, so usually the way it works is institutional comes first and then it only trickles down to the retail. Bitcoin, crypto is the first asset of its kind wherein retail has the access first before it becomes acceptable or becomes available to the broader institutional investing institutions. So I think that in itself shows how it's really peer-to-peer. It's really the power of the community wherein it's now an acceptable form of asset allocation for the big funds out there.
Yes, and I think I could add to that if I may. I don't think there's any advantage crypto has to cash when it comes to being used for nefarious activities. If anything, you can make a better case that with crypto on blockchain, everything is traceable. So there's no guarantees. That's why you start off with non-financial advice, which is always a good thing. Do your own homework because there are bad actors everywhere. But at least if you are with with something that is endorsed by the Banco Central and Filipinas. And we have to also add, you mentioned the ETFs, everything. Just last week, we had 2 presidential candidates for the United States of America, not just mentioning crypto, but actually making it part of their campaign platform. And even the 3rd candidate is now looking into it, although it's not official. But that in itself is already a huge step ahead of putting it out of the shadows of what we normally associate with. Do we have any other questions? Yes? We have in the front row we have our ushers. We have someone in the front row here with the white top.
Hi, I'm Chris. So my question is for Yassi. Yassi.
Hey Chris, try coins.
So, okay, so, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. So my question is this, what was how much did you buy Bitcoin first when you first started crypto? And then the follow-up question is, assuming you have Bitcoin.
No, like I said, it's only Ethereum.
Oh, okay. So how much did you get Ethereum for when you first started? And what are your top 3 coins? And the last question is, what would be your pitch to get somebody who doesn't know anything about crypto to actually buy crypto?
Great question.
Okay, so for me, my coin that I really just keep talaga is only Ethereum. I didn't touch Bitcoin. I didn't touch anything else because I was very skeptical. It was that time when things were not regulated, right? So ako, parang to play safe, simulan ko konti, auto Ethereum, $300. Right now it's at $2,300. And slowly, as I saw it growing, okay, let's try a bit more, let's try a bit more. And for me, the only advice that I would say is really do your own homework. I'm not a financial advisor, but I can just speak from my own experience na kapag nakita ka ng opportunity of something that's going to grow, where the future is taking kind of all of us, educate yourself, and baka pwede ka sa isa sa mga mauuna. And I think that was my benefit, and I'm glad with my decisions because before I did try NFT, oh my gosh, it's so hard if you don't watch it. And that's a lesson that you need to learn then, diba? So for me, I just keep it there and I just watch it grow, and maybe sooner or later, invest a bit more, right? So it's really up to you. You can't blame anyone, but also you can blame yourself for your own success, diba? So take your opportunity to study.
So is that the answer to the final question? You get the answer, or what you would say to somebody that doesn't know? That's your answer. Okay, great. Some good advice.
Thank you, Chris. Try coins.
And you can try Chris's podcast too. He's on YouTube as well, Chris Tanks, and Twitter. He's a great source of crypto, and we'd like to see more and more people speaking about crypto because it really does help. We have another question here. Yes, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jenny from the ABC World. Well, first, congratulations, guys. I've covered blockchain for years, and now this having Yassi as your ambassador is really going mainstream. So congratulations to the team, and I guess it's also a launch for Brain. I must message it. But my question would be for Jen and Yassi. We're mentioning blockchain and the fees, minting tokens and everything. But I'm guessing, 1 or 2 people in this room doesn't know about it. Like, no idea about it at all. So maybe Jen and Yassi, how do you plan to, really educate people? In terms of Web3, blockchain, specifically crypto, and investing in crypto.
I think this is an opportunity to talk about the academy, right?
So we've been doing a lot of educational blog posts out there about Coins Academy. So we also have what we call Coins Champions. So we make the information easily accessible to all, right? So there's a lot of information out there in the internet, but what we do is we curate it such that what you have on our Coins Academies is factual information. So that's the first. Second, we have our Coins Champion, and the Coins Champion is our community members wherein they teach you about crypto, etc. And I think in terms of education, there's really nothing replacing, just going out there and learning it yourself, right? And buying your first Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever token that you have in mind. Because then you will have some stake in it, right? So you would be more invested in it, maybe not monetarily, but you have something in the back of your mind, like, hey, I have something invested in it. If it goes up, if it goes down, that's something that you're feeling a bit, and that's how most of us started, right? So some of us we don't know what we're getting ourselves into, which is not probably the best advice, but having some skin in the game is the best way to learn.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'd like to add to that is we also partner with a lot of community leaders in different parts of the Philippines, right? And the grassroots is so important in crypto. That's actually how crypto adoption blossomed in the last cycle in the Philippines. And what's really great about partnering with communities is that they know how to explain, crypto, blockchain in simple terms in a way their communities would understand it, right? So for us, it's not just us educating people, it's us empowering those who are in a position to educate their own peers and their own communities as well. So, it's kind of like finding out and vetting who these leaders are and empowering them to do more, right? And elevate what they're already doing on the ground level.
Very good answers. You want anything else to that?
Exactly what they said.
Exactly what they said. I think another thing if I may just add, with this journey that people go through with crypto, it's about self-sovereignty, right? You become a sovereign individual. It's part of the whole journey because you're now in charge of your own finances. That does come with risk and it comes with responsibility. So I think what Jen was explaining, by having skin in the game, getting off zero, you force yourself to learn. You have all the incentive in the world because you are aiming to be that sovereign individual. Once you start outsourcing all of that safety and security to a financial institution, you basically have given up all of that. You're swapping safety for freedom. That's always the trade-off. Every time you get safety, it comes at the cost of freedom. So it depends, it's up to you how free you want to be. Crypto gives you this life raft. It gives you this opportunity to break out of what some people call the matrix. So it is you now have an option, but it comes with responsibility and risk. It's the big boys' world, and the grown-ups' world. Anyone else? Grown-ups. That's not gender now. Anyone else? In the audience have a question for us? We got a pretty great crowd here that know a lot, seem to know a lot. We got someone in the back standing up.
Hi, I'm Tito Vlogs. I'm an active crypto trader. My question goes to Pat and Jen. How important is this technology, crypto and blockchain, to nation building, and how do you think Coins.PH can help in the regulation side or in the government side? What can you do, or what are the efforts that you're doing towards the regulation side? Thank you.
So I think it's actually key in terms of this. So going back to when you look at the development of a country, so I'm going to start from the country here, but the last and the most important piece of any developing country is capital formation, right? And usually capital formation comes in the form of like your stock market, your capital markets. In developing countries like the Philippines, usually what we've noticed is there's really that struggle in terms of capital formation because of our limited liquidity in our capital markets. But what crypto provides is basically us having access to global liquidity. You're not just, when you buy Bitcoin, you're not just partaking in the Philippine ecosystem, you're participating in a global ecosystem. And that helps us leapfrog that capital